Hey guys, Samia here, wedding and portrait photographer, and I wanted to make this video about automations for wedding photographers. So using Honeybook, I have a lot of automations which are basically automated processes for how I'm doing things in my photography business. So I wanted to show you all those things and the power of using automations in your business. Okay, so first I'm going to show you what even is an automation, right? So if we go into tools, automations, it's this part of Honeybook. If you don't have Honeybook, you can get 50% off of this software in the link in the description below. But so you come here to tools, automations. Let's go ahead and create a new automation. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of this. So this is basically the process that you set up. And if you start to add stuff, you have different options for what you can do in automations. You can send emails, you can create tasks, which is basically ways of reminding yourself of what to do with your clients. You can send certain files like a brochure or a questionnaire with an email attached, or with an email with a brochure or questionnaire attached. You can send, this is new, and you can go back to my other video all about smart files. I just walked you through how to make a smart file in that other video. You can send a smart file via email also. So if we do that, basically, let's just say we wanted to do that. What you would do is you could select a smart file. Let's just select a random one. And then how it works is you're sending, this is the type of action that we chose, send smart file via email. The smart file that we're choosing is an album, and then the email that you want to choose would be, let's just say, album brochure. So what this is doing is it's sending the email, the template that you have saved, album brochure, with the smart file you have saved, album brochure, smart file, together. So then the next thing you have control over is when this step is happening. You can decide how to do this based on when the automation is activated, project date, contract is signed, all these things. There's so many different options, right? So what you want to do, and then you can also do require approval before sending. So I always keep this 0 days after automation is activated. And I'll show you in each, I'm going to show you the different automations that I have, how they're being activated, but I think the default is easiest when you do it like this. And then that's how the first step of the automation works. And then you can just keep doing different tasks. So if you wanted to then send another email, let's say maybe this email was a brochure, and I show this whole actual album thing in that smart file video, but let's say we were asking them to pick a brochure, pick an album and pay for it. Maybe this email we want to check in on, did they respond or something like that. So we could just pick a different email. Let's just pick a random one and pretend that it's a 3-day file reminder. So hey, did you guys get we can look at this email. Did you guys get my last email? Something like that. So then maybe you want to send this 5 days after the other email was sent. So you get the idea, and you can build these to be super long and have a lot of things that you're doing. But that's basically how the automation works. And then if you want to activate this automation, there are different ways to do that. And I'll show you again the different automations I have, but let's just save this and call this sample automation. So what we can do is if we go out here, the first way you can have automations start is if you want to have them start by the contact form that they filled out. So automate via contact form. That means if you go onto your website and you have that contact form, and I'll show you mine here. If someone fills out this contact form, which is my wedding inquiry contact form, I have it automated that, let's see, where is it? Official wedding inquiry auto reply. So I'm automatically sending an email when they respond. So you can automate it that way. So you just have to assign the contact form type wedding here, or you can automate. You don't have to start the automation like that. You can go into projects and pick a random. Let's just pick them, Sylvia and Jeremy. And what you would do is, let's just take this off. The other way to start an automation is to come into the project of the clientele and then add automation, and we'll just add in sample automation. Click apply. Yeah, so see, I literally just sent them the brochure. So I'll do a side note with smart files and automation. Sometimes you have to refresh this and it will show you the smart file. But that is basically how it, see, now it's showing the smart file. That's just like a glitch. Honeybook, there you go. So I'm gonna show you a little bit more in detail my 4 different automations that I have for wedding photographers. Okay, so the first automation I'm going to show you is that wedding inquiry auto response. So if we come into tools, contact forms, you'll want to go into your wedding inquiry form. Let's do this one. So I have another video here on YouTube. That's the 12 things you need to include in this contact form for wedding photographers. So go back to that video, but basically put all your questions in here. I go over that, all of that in the in that video. But the only thing I wanted to really show you here is if you go into settings, make sure you are assigning your project type to wedding, because that title right here in the settings of the contact form is what's linking it to the automation. So that's how you do that. If you're not sure how to do this, you can go way out into your settings, company settings here, and you can create all your project types. So that's how you would do that. But basically make your contact form like I just showed you. You can watch the other video on more detail on that particular piece, and then go into automations, create a new automation. But I'm just going to show you this one that I was talking about. So see how this says wedding? That is what that is telling Honeybook, hey, when someone fills out this contact form, they are a wedding. And when they are a wedding, which is right here, please start this automation. So if we come into here, and I have a bunch of these email templates that I'm showing you for free for photographers in the description down below. So you can just download all those emails if you want to. But basically all I'm doing when I get a wedding inquiry is I just want to send them an email that is asking them to schedule a call. So this is what it looks like. We can see, you can copy my emails if you want to, or I literally give them to you freebies down below. But I'm not using smart files or questionnaires or anything like that, because I just want to ask them to schedule a call. And it says, please choose the slot on my calendar most convenient for you here to schedule a call. And then I set this up using the scheduling feature, which I can make another video about. So there's a lot of moving parts here. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about this automation in particular. I think it's kind of simple, but I know it's a lot of information. So that is what I do for wedding inquiry automations. So the next thing I have automated in my business is the album process for getting people to pick their album, book their album, pay for it, and start designing their album. So I wanted to show you that. I have another video on smart files in general, and I walk you through a little bit of this. So I'm going to show you. So for this automation, it's different from the other one I just showed you, because this one, all the automation is doing is I'm actually going to send a smart file, which is giving the client the ability to pick something and pay for it. And I'm going to send that with an email. So if we go into tools, templates, I want to show you my smart file that I have set up for albums. So this is, I call it album brochure smart file, and I favorited it so it's easy to get to here. But basically it just says hi, and this is how the album process works. And then here are all the different albums that they can choose between. And then the way the smart files work, you can also watch my older video on that, but it is allowing people to pay on the next page here. So if we go to invoice, they can see what they picked, pay, and then I'm asking them to pick their favorite photos. So to start, after they've paid, to start designing their album. So that's how I have this process working. And then in terms of automating it, if we go into tools, automations, I'm going to show you the album pitch automation. So this is just a one-step automation. This is the second one I wanted to show you in this video. So it's basically pitching to clients after I've already delivered their photos. They left a review. Hey, do you want to buy an album? So the way I have this one set up is after 5 days of activating it, I will, automation is activated 5 days after I activate it. So what it's doing is sending that smart file album brochure that I just sent you and the album pitch email, and I'll just show you this email a little bit here. So it just says, hope you're loving your wedding photos so much. I was reaching out to see if you'd be interested in making an album with me, and then we have a time reserved for you for this time. Please choose your album in the attached brochure. So this automatically gets sent, and that's a one-step automation for getting albums booked and the design process, which if you know your wedding photographer can be very tedious, but this automates a lot of that behind the scenes work. So I do teach how you can automate the entire wedding client experience from when a couple actually books you to all the way through to this album thing that I just showed you in my course. So if you want more information and you want to do like be super extra with me, you can get more information on the course down below in the description. But I hope this was helpful, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe because I come out with new videos like this every single week for photographers, and I will see you next week on YouTube.